What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back for Asphalt 8 Airborne. Now, all of the gameplay in this video was recorded on an iPad Air, and I recently got an iPad Air because I wanted to test out the kind of the more mobile sector of gaming, and Gameloft reached out to me and kind of helped me get started in Asphalt 8, and I've been really enjoying it. So, what do I like about this game? Well, I enjoy the fact that it's kind of a mixture of a lot of your classic racing games. Like, it's got a little bit of Burnout in there, it's got a little bit of classic Need for Speed in there, but you can see the Burnout influence, you can see influence from multiple other older racing games. You can even see a lot of retro influence, like Outrun, for example, and I really like to see that. Now, I enjoy this game because it's kind of a casual game, but it's hardcore at the same time, right? You can kind of pick it up if you're just kind of looking for something to do for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, or if you want to play a game that that some would say you could use as a console like substitute, then it could be used for that too. Now, the mobile racing game kind of sector has always been one of those categories that's always kind of drawn a lot of ridicule and a lot of I wouldn't say hate, but well, I don't like to use the term hate, but I guess you can if you want to, because a lot of the games in that area have just always seemed a little bit unpolished, or a little bit incomplete, or like they kind of left you wanting a whole lot more than they actually said on the label, so to speak. But Asphalt 8 actually really did its job well. I was impressed with the overall quality. I was impressed with how it played. And I did some research into it, and yes, I get that there are you know, a couple of things with multiplayer and everything that some people may not like, but at the end of the day, if it's more of a game that you're looking for that's kind of on the arcadey side and can either be played in like for long periods of time, or can be played for maybe just 5 minutes for one race, this game definitely does well for that. Now, the car roster is actually a really big car roster. Now, they've got pretty much everything from, I mean, we're driving a 2015 Mustang GT right now, which again, thanks to Gameloft for giving me access to this car, but you've got everything from this to Audi R8 to like concept Citroens to pretty much a ton of other cars. Later on in this video, you'll see some gameplay of the Acura Nsx as well. And well, actually, I don't remember if they have the Acura version or the Honda version. It's either or. I believe it's the Acura version. I mean, they're pretty much the same car except for badges, but also the graphics. The graphics are really nice, really smooth. The game flows really well. You'll have to get used to the touch controls one way or another, depending on whether you like to tilt the iPad to control the car or steer with your thumb. It all depends on your actual your personal style. I feel like some of the more casual gamers are probably going to be into the tilt controls, where some of the more hardcore side or gamers that have been playing for a long time are probably going to be more into the thumb touch style. And I think that's just something that shows where you came from as a gamer as far as background. I've been playing console games and PC games for a long time, and I think that obviously the thumb controls really replicate a controller feel a lot better than say the tilt controls. The tilt controls, I kind of felt a little bit out of control of the car, but that's just me. I prefer the more controller style, and again, it's something that you got to figure out as you play the game. But you'll definitely find your personal taste as you go. Now, when I first jumped into the game, it was a little bit daunting. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit. It felt a little crazy. Like there was a ton of stuff being thrown at me all at once, and I was like, "Oh my God, what do I do?" But I think once you give the game a little bit of time, it doesn't seem as overwhelming. I think it's just like there's so much going on in these races that it's sometimes a little bit tricky to pay attention to everything if you're new to it. But like I said, once you kind of pick up on the little visual cues that each race has and little audio cues that each race has, you start to kind of learn the ins and outs of the game itself. Now, it's got a whole bunch of different modes. You've got your standard race events. You've got your elimination, infection. Elimination was actually kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, that was a pretty tricky mode, at least for me. I had quite a bit of trouble actually maintaining a good position in some of the elimination races, whereas in the standard races, I was just kind of just doing really well. At least doing really well by the standards of somebody that just started playing this game a week ago. And I know that there's going to be some people out there that are insane at this game. I've seen some videos of people just absolutely going crazy, just destroying the competition. And sure, I'm not to that level quite yet, but I do want to kind of take you guys on a little bit of a journey through this game with me. If you guys are interested in that, I will be doing live commentary, Let's Play style videos, if that gets enough support in the comments. Now, I feel like the mobile gaming sector is a really interesting one for me personally, because as far as always being like a console gamer and a PC gamer, all of your games kind of stayed in one place, with the exception of the fact that you had a laptop. But even if you had a laptop, it's not like you can start playing that laptop when you're, playing a game on that laptop when you're waiting in line for something, or you need something to do for like 5 minutes because, you got to turn the computer on, you got to start the game, and by that time 5 minutes is already up. Whereas if you're on like an iPad or an iPhone, you just press the home button, the thing wakes up and you're good to go. You're playing the game already. So I think that the convenience of the actual play time with these games is quite attractive to a lot of people, and I think that's what has helped the mobile game industry really take off. And I can see how, with spending a week so far with my new iPad Air and a couple of other mobile games, I keep calling them mobile games, but I feel like mobile games is kind of a term that's been used to describe like cell phone games and stuff, and a lot of the older cell phone games were really crappy in my opinion, but I still call these games mobile games, and I feel like being a mobile game isn't that much of a, like an insult anymore. Like, it's not, I feel like it technically wasn't an insult in the beginning, but it's definitely not now, because you got a lot more effort that's been put into these. You got a lot more larger teams that have been developing these games. You've got a lot more processing power to work with for sure, and you've also got a much more capable device to work with, especially with things like the Galaxy tablets, the Galaxy phones, iPhones, iPads. I'm not specifically partial to one side, even though I own an iPhone and an iPad right now. I moved over from Samsung devices to iDevices, and I may go back the next time I switch. I'm not sure. But, again, I think the other thing, too, with this game is that there's a nice variety of tracks. The tracks are very varied, and they're very cool. They're very interesting, very detailed tracks. Lots of different routes you can take. So many different routes you can take, in fact, that if you're not quite ready for the sheer abundance of routes that you have on these tracks, you're going to be a little overwhelmed until you get used to it. I think, especially this Alps track has a lot of different routes that you can choose from. Let's see, what else has a lot of different tracks? I think the Nevada track was one that kind of stood out to me, and the Iceland one as well. I think it was the Iceland one anyway. But a lot of these tracks have so many routes that you'll turn down just one of these pathways, and you'll be like, wait a minute, why did I go from 2nd to 6th in like a split second? Because if you take a wrong turn, then that could be it for you. That could be the race. And it kind of adds an interesting dimension to it, because you're not only concerned with staying in first place, you're concerning yourself too with taking the right route. And taking the right route is so important. You're always having to think about what route you're taking and how you're focusing on your actual directions on these tracks. Now, as far as my, I guess, final opinions on this game go, I really enjoyed it. I really think that there's a lot of potential in these games, especially this one. And if you guys are interested in me doing an actual Let's Play series of this game, then I would be more than happy to do it. I really enjoy playing this game. It's something I can record a lot quicker, a little bit easier as well than getting out, say, the Xbox One or the PS3 or something like, well, PS3. I don't have a PS4 yet, but I will. But it's sometimes a little bit easier to record these, and I really enjoy making them too. So if you guys are interested in seeing a series on this game, then don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one. And also, just because I said that these are sometimes a little bit easier to record does not mean that I'm going away from console and PC stuff at all, because Project Cars comes out tomorrow, and like I said before, you guys are going to be getting a ton of Project Cars coverage. So again, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.